Welcome back to day 4 of the 14 days of elevation meditation series. In this series, we're guiding you through different meditations for 14 days to help you find a center of peace, calm, balance, and positivity during this time. And today on day 4, we're so excited to be here. We're going to be teaching you the cutting the cords meditation. This meditation is something we recently did in our Eliminating Anger masterclass in the membership club. And we got so much feedback from our elevators saying like, holy smokes, this is exactly what I needed. I was able to forgive my mom. I was able to let go of some things that have been holding me back. So today's meditation is going to help you cut away all the bullshit from the past so that you can confidently move forward with that freedom.
Yes, you know, when we think of meditation, when I say the word meditation, most people imagine like a Buddhist monk with a shaved head sitting somewhere and sitting quietly just with their eyes closed. But that's just one side of meditation. Meditation has a huge range. In the same way, jazz is only one type of music. There's so many other kind of music genres out there. And so we've taught you some relaxation things. Day 1, we did breath awareness. Day 2, we did the heart opening. Yesterday, we got blissed out with a total body relaxation. And today, we're gonna go dive into the subconscious mind and start to remove away limiting labels, limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, habitual patterns that you've had. Maybe it's a lack of confidence. Maybe it's someone who told you, you never amount to anything. It's those kind of things we're going to jump on today. And it's really important to start to realize that meditation is simply a gateway to opening up the inside landscape of our mind. So often we're completely focused on the external world, or maybe what we're going to achieve or what's going to happen in the future. And we forget that when we come back in, we can actually reprogram the mind. We can get to a space where we're a little more in control of what we're doing instead of being pulled this way and that way by our whims or our thoughts or what other people are doing. There's this quiet calm inside of us, and that's where our true strength really is.
So if you're just tuning in, I'm Brit and this is Chris Carmichael, and together we have founded The Elevated Life, where we teach you these simple mindset shifts to create radical transformation in your life. And on the 14 days of elevation, we've been bringing you different meditations to help you calm the F down during this time. So today is going to be a very powerful meditation. So if you know someone who would love to tune in live, because the more people we can get doing this together and tuning into that frequency of peace, the better. And it takes people like you who are showing up and tuning in and giving yourself that space to connect with what Chris talks about, that inner landscape where your soul resides, where that truth and that wisdom and that constant confirmation that you're looking externally for. If you just take a moment to quiet your mind and listen within, you'll actually have that next step or the guidance or the clarity that you're seeking. So we wanted to hop on here during this time and help you find that peace, because so many people do like, ooh, meditation, I don't know, I'm not good at that, I don't want to do it. But the problem is like Chris said, so many people think meditation looks one specific way, and it's just not the case. And there's so many different types of meditation, and that's why we love sharing different modalities inside the Elevated Life membership club. Every month we bring you a different type of meditation, along with guiding you through 3 different meditations in the masterclass, just so that you are constantly getting that time in that sacred space and then learning new tools to be able to access those deep reservoirs of peace, bliss, and truth.
Yeah, this is just the type of work that we have to do. It's such a necessity to our lives. We forget, we go out and we do so many things and we help so many people, and it's coming back to that space that we have. And truthfully, like, we're not going to be on here for an hour or 2 hours. These meditations aren't that long. Yeah. This is not something that you're like, oh, I got to carve out all that time during my day. It's not that way. It's not like you got to go run for 45 minutes. These are short and simple, and what they will allow you to do is to show up better in every single area of your life. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a big cutting away of old beliefs, old negative thought patterns. And so just imagine how you would feel if you didn't have those anymore. Imagine if you didn't walk around with a rain cloud over your head and said it was bright, it was sunny, it was rainy this morning, and the sun just came out here.
For this video.
It's coming through our windows right now, and you can feel it. You can feel how different you are internally when it's sunny outside, when you have that bright outlook, when there's a positivity about you, when there's a feeling of hope, and there's a feeling of promise, feeling like the future is going to get better. You just have that inside. You show up differently. You show up to work differently. You show up for your kids differently. It's just a different you that comes. So when you go through this meditation, really allow yourself to feel it. Meditation is not something that you can only halfway do. You have to be 100% in. So when we ask you to imagine these things, when we have you close your eyes, when we have you go inside, give yourself the opportunity to get the absolute most that you can out of this. And always remember, you can come back and watch the replay. This is not something you just have to do once. You can come back and watch this, do this again. I love doing these like every couple of months. Like I do the same meditation and space it out every couple of months. That way I'm still getting that benefit, because you're gonna run into problems in life. Like that's the kind of deal. We always have these obstacles that we're overcoming. It's just part of the nature and part of what we need to grow during this lifetime. And so when you come back to these, you'll get a renewed spirit and energy about you. So make sure that you're doing that and give yourself that opportunity today. Let go of any of those kind of beliefs that you've had. Brit's gonna walk you through this. It's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. Give yourself the space to relax and to release anything that has ever been holding you back. Let it go today.
Yeah, I mean, right now, our entire collective, our community, our world is at a time of change, and it's a turning point for all of us to consciously choose the direction we all want to go. So this is gonna help you to eliminate anything that's been holding you back from making those changes or committing to yourself, to maybe let go of that bad habit or leave that toxic job now that you've been laid off. Like, don't go back, like when the door's open. You know, this is maybe an opportunity for you. You know, maybe you're stuck at home with your spouse for the first time in a long time and you guys are like, this is an opportunity for you to explore new versions of yourself. So give yourself permission to change, because maybe a pattern in the past worked for you, but it no longer is helping you to move forward. So this meditation will help you to let go of all of the bullshit from the past and give yourself permission to move forward and flow with life, because honestly, that's all we can do right now. We can't rely on our structures and our habitual routines. We have to live presently and consciously in each moment, so that we can show up with that inner light that Chris talked about, and with the peace and calm that, like, when I'm turned on to my light, when I'm tuned in, I always know that next guidance step, even though the landscape is always shifting.
Yeah, and you really start, what's great about that feeling that Brit's talking about is you really get into a place where you become sort of this superhero in your own story. It's really, you stop always looking outward for someone else to solve these kind of problems. You realize that you have so much power. There's so many incredible things about you. And inside you, there's so much untapped potential. And so when you get into that and when you feel that, make sure that you share that with other people. Share that. Let them know, hey, you are amazing. You can do this. Like, it's one thing once you solve your own problems, make sure you reach out and help other people too. I know we've been saying this during these meditations, but let them know. Let them know that inside of them is something special. I feel like that's one of the biggest messages we can give to people. Yeah. Like, that you can do it. You know, it's that you've got something inside you. We need that special thing in this world, and continuously reiterate that. Because a lot of people feel unappreciated. They feel like they don't know really how to get to that space where they believe in themselves. So sometimes we have to show up and be that person. So be that person if you have someone in your life like that.
Yeah, and let them know by tagging them in the comments below, because we're about to dive into this meditation live. So thank you for tuning in here at 11:11 a.m. Central Standard Time every day for the 14 days of meditation. We are so excited. If you're ready for this meditation, let us know by sharing I'm ready in the comments, hitting some, you know, hearts or whatever you gotta do. Let us know. We are ready to dive in. Daphne's here, Gwen's here, Vanessa, Lindsay. It's so good to see you guys. Melinda's here. Oh my gosh, yay for every day. Ramey's here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The crew's here. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're about to dive into this meditation. So if it's safe for you and you are not driving, find yourself in a comfortable position. Take a moment to, like, shimmy it out. We're just getting the day started, or maybe you started early this morning and this is a nice afternoon break. Whatever the case may be for you, it's always important to, like, tune in and let yourself, like, feel, like, every moment throughout the day. It's not just like when you burn out and you're, like, on your sick deathbed over here that you need to ask yourself, like, what kind of self-care do I need right now? It's an everyday, every hour, moment to moment experience where you have this constant feedback from your body. So let's get into the body by relaxing out the shoulders and shimmying out anything that feels tension. And begin by taking a nice long deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale, sigh it out. We're gonna do that a few more times. Breathing in as deep as you can. Exhale, sigh it out. And then one more nice long deep breath in. Imagine a beautiful white glowing light coming in through your body. And then exhale, let it go. Whenever you're ready, you can close down your eyes and begin to slow down your breathing, relaxing your mind and body, allowing all of the stress and the tension to fade away. I want you to send a wave of relaxation from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, noticing if there's any tension. Allow that area to melt away as you send this wave from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Use this body scan as a way to locate any tension or stress stored in the body, and use your breath as a powerful tool to breathe into those spaces and release the tension with the exhale. You can do that now, giving a moment to scan your body, releasing any pain, any tension, any stress. With every inhale, you breathe in peace, vitality, and vibrancy. And with every exhale, you release stress, fear, and worry. Allow your body to soften, your mind to relax. And I want you to use your creative imagination. And I want you to imagine yourself as a ship floating in the harbor, attached to the dock by many different ropes, and anchors are holding you in place. Take a moment to use your imagination to make this ship whatever size, shape, color, and in whatever harbor you desire. But the most important thing is you notice all the ropes attached to you. All the cords and the anchors are holding you back into the harbor. And in this harbor, you may feel safe, but you also feel stuck. And in this harbor, you finally begin to notice all of those cords, those experiences, those people that have been holding you back and keeping you stuck in this moment. You begin to notice that each one of those cords represents an experience, a person, a painful memory, a belief that holds you back. I'm going to give you a moment to analyze those cords, just to take a moment to look at them, to feel them, to see them, to know that they're there. And some of these ropes and cords may be thicker than others, stronger material. Things have been rooted in the past. Just notice the difference in size and shape. Notice how many there are. Begin to scan your boat and notice if there's any anchors holding you back. Ask each anchor, what are you here to represent? And now that you've taken a moment to assess the cords and the anchors, you're going to use your creative imagination to imagine a powerful magical sword or a pair of scissors, whatever it is that feels right for you, that gives you the ability to cut away all of these attachments. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to begin, but before I do, I want you to really feel how good it feels to let go of those doubts, of those negative voices in your head, of those fears, of those people that hurt you in the past, of those thoughts that hold you back from going after your big dreams. Notice how good it feels to release each one of those cords as you cut away. Ready? Go. Begin cutting away all the cords and the anchors that hold you back and keep you stuck in the same place. Notice how good it feels to let go of each one of those cords and anchors as you cut away and release the past pain, the doubt, the fear, the resentment, the unforgiveness, the anger, the sadness. Notice how good it feels to be free from those past pains. Begin cutting away, letting them go, and don't stop until you're done. Some might be harder to cut, so you may need to call in some support from your spirit guides, angels, your soul team. Call in that support now. If you need help releasing and letting go of some of these cords and anchors that are holding you back and keeping you stuck. Noticing how good it feels to let go and release everything that's been holding you and keeping you stuck in this current place. Notice how good it feels to be free, and begin to notice as you cut away all of these cords, you're finally getting to the last few, and you notice how your ship begins to start sailing away. It can't help but want to go forward. The potential within you is ever flowing and always moving, but it's just been these past stories and these beliefs and these unhealed emotions that have been holding you back and keeping you stuck. And as you cut away that final cord, you notice your ship beginning to sail, moving faster and faster into the ocean, feeling how good it feels to be free and to be moving at your own pace, to no longer be held back by other people's doubts, insecurities, or fears, no longer letting those stories hold you back, that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve abundance, love, peacefulness. Notice how good it feels to sail away in a calm, smooth sea, knowing that you can thrive in peace and you no longer need the chaos of the past. Now, as you notice yourself sailing away, I want you to imagine that perfect future you have imagined for yourself out into the distance. Imagine your ship sailing in the direction of the dreams that you've always wanted for yourself. The dreams that maybe you haven't thought were possible, but now that you're free, you know anything is possible. Imagine your ship sailing into the direction of your dreams, with the trust that it's all happening in perfect divine timing. And while you're on your way to your perfect future, you can relax and enjoy the moment. Now let the scene fade and come back into your body, back into this present moment. Take a nice long deep breath in through your nose just to feel your body, your lungs expand. And as you exhale, allow all of those doubts to fade away. Feeling the calmness and the peacefulness within your body now. Noticing how good it feels to be free and confident. Give yourself space to integrate this new version of yourself. Thanking all of those past pains for teaching you to become stronger and wiser. Thanking your higher self for all of the wisdom she offers. And thank yourself for showing up, being present, and letting go of what no longer positively serves you. I'm going to count from 1 up to 3, and as I do, you'll become fully aware, noticing how good you feel, free from the past, ready to embrace a new future. 1, breathing in as deep as possible, letting your belly expand, and exhaling it out, coming back into your body. 2, breathing in with the trust that you know all is well and everything is happening in perfect timing. Letting it go. Breathing in. 3, feeling fully aware, fully awake, fully vibrant, energized, and ready to step into a new future. When you know you're ready, you can open your eyes and notice how good you feel.
Woo! Woo! Feels good.
Oh man.
Feels good.
Where were you sailing away to?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so a couple things. Number 1 is that when we were in the harbor, there were other boats there too, and there were people on the boats, but you could tell they were complaining. They didn't like where they were, they didn't like what they were seeing, they didn't like anything like that. But they were all kind of saying the same things. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm stuck, I wish this would have happened, how come this part of my life didn't work out, why was this person mean to me? And what was weird is that, like, as the cords were cut and, you know, sailing out of the harbor and into that future Britt was talking about, there were a lot more other boats out there that I was seeing. And they were just like, what's up, man? We've been waiting for you. Where have you been? Hey, we're out here. We're ready to to welcome you with these open arms. And it was just like, as I hit the open water, there was so many other boats out there, but they were talking a different language. It wasn't blaming. It was just talks about how awesome things are and how great things can be, and how if we'll just change our mindset a little bit. It's not about working harder. It's not about doing things that are difficult. It's not about a bunch of tough things. It's not about that. That's what they were telling me. It's about getting into a space where you just believe. And it's, so many religions talk about faith and things like that. It's having a sense of faith. It's having just some sort of belief in yourself where you know things are getting good. And they said, we're so happy that you're here. It was incredible.
Wow, that just proves that no matter if you leave your comfort zone, you'll never be alone. And we're here to support you during these 14 days of elevation. Hell, we're here to support you forever. We've been here showing up for years, every day or every Friday for the Elevated Life series. We show up all the time in our Elevated Life membership club. So, surround yourself with people who believe in you and who help to support your future vision of yourself, even when you don't fully believe. We know how that feels. We get it. We've been there. But what we can tell you is we've cut those cords and we've let go of those anchors, and we have allowed our personal and spiritual growth to expand, and it has taken us into uncharted waters that we had never imagined. Chris, he even said, like, this is, I'm going to share the insider talk between the Carmichaels. He said, did you ever imagine that we would look like this? I said, absolutely not. Like, I never imagined we would look like this. And it's crazy because if you look at a picture from us 10 years ago, it's unrecognizable. And what the consistent thing that has happened, consistency was the key, but it was consistent growth and change and willingness to expand and reach outside of our own belief system and our own comfort zone and potential to just to test it out. And Chris and I have just been courageous or crazy enough, one of the two, to just jump and just to trust and to see, like, well, I have this dream, but what if it's not possible? Instead of playing the what if it's not possible game, we played the what if it is possible game. And both came true in both scenarios. So it's your choice and you get to decide. And here on the Elevated Life, we decide that we're going to live an elevated life, one that we're consciously showing up and choosing to direct our life. Just as I gave you that opportunity to say, hey, which way do you want to be going? You have that permission and that power right now to decide the direction that you want to take your life. Even though it may not seem like it right now, if your life has been changing during these current circumstances. But the truth is, you always, Dorothy, click those sparkly red heels, click them. You've got that power within. You just have to activate it. And we hope that by joining us here on the 14 days of elevation, you activate that deep magic and that power within you, because you have the potential to expand beyond what you can even believe is possible. And you'll be surprised at how far you come if you just stay consistent with these small changes over time. So let us know how you enjoyed this meditation. If you know someone who would love to be a part of this and tune into this like high vibing community, then please tag them in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all the good things to spread the good vibes. And we appreciate you for being here. Any final thoughts, words on like letting go? I keep thinking about one of our elevators who reached out and said, like, I had such a big cord and it was so hard to cut, but it was the one that was attaching her to her mom. Yeah. And if you've had any past painful parent experiences, it can be hard to let those things go, but it's so powerful to do these types of experiences. If you're someone who's like, well, I wasn't able to let it all go, but I could feel that freedom, I was almost there, go back and listen to this again and again. This is something we always encourage.
Yeah, so if this is something that has benefited you a ton, like Brit said, go back through it. What's interesting is that our subconscious mind works on images. If you're a person that's always worried or always anxious, what you're noticing doing these exercises is that your subconscious responds to the pictures inside your mind. And so for a lot of people, this can be very cathartic. We've done this exercise with people and seen them cry. Seen them full on breakdown cry and let go of things that they've been feeling for, 30 and 40 years or maybe even more. And so when you're worrying and when you're anxious and when you're using your imagination to go out into the future and plan for catastrophic events, you're telling your subconscious that's what you want. You're saying, hey, I'm not only going to imagine this picture, I'm going to imagine it with intensity, and then I'm going to emotionalize it, and then I'm going to feel it, and then I'm going to create a story around it, and then I'm going to tell that story to everybody that I meet. All you really need to do is start changing that story. So start picturing new things. If you want to picture yourself...
We should do that tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's rewrite your story. Like rewrite your script tomorrow. You guys know what we're doing tomorrow.
There it is. We're rewriting your story.
And that's how life is done. It's in the moment, being present, and just letting those ideas pop up. Like we don't have the 14 days planned because we're feeling it. We're intuitively asking ourselves, what do they need right now? What's the next step? How can we help? And bam, just like that. So imagine having the faith that you're creative and smart enough to just come up with the solution and the ideas if you just have the courage to follow through. That's where we find most people making their biggest mistake, is that it's not that they don't hear the guidance or already know their next step. Most people already know. It's just they're not having the courage or confidence to move past that comfort zone or the fear that stops them from going in that direction that they've already been guided. So we are here to encourage you to go after those dreams, to not let fear hold you back. Fear is always nipping at your heels, but if you can elude it by having that consistent faith, like, no, I know where I'm going, and fear's gonna come along with me, and it's fine. You know, like we just have to make friends with fear.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, quote it, 26 minutes and 19 seconds. We've got to make friends with fear. It's not something to be feared, but just something to befriend, because it's part of our emotional system letting us know we're headed in the right direction, because fear doesn't come up when we're stuck in our comfort zone. Fear only stops us when we're ready to expand outside of it. So thank you so much for tuning in for these live meditations. Let's do it. Yes. All right, tomorrow we'll be rewriting your story, rewriting the script of that inner dialogue so that you can show up as your most confident self. So be sure to tune in tomorrow live at 11:11 a.m. Central Standard Time here for the Elevated Life, it's the Elevated Life 14 Days of Elevation Meditation Series. That's a lot of words.
A lot.
Because we have a lot of wisdom to share and a lot of love to give. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for shining your light and having the courage to elevate above fear and choose love, because we need people like you in this world shining their light and sharing their gifts. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved it, share it, like it, whatever. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.